In Commonwealth period, Manuel Roxas espoused the social justice program to arrest the increasing social unrest in Central Luzon. There are 5 significant legislation enacted during the Commonwealth period. The first one is the 1935 Constitution. The period of social justice to ensure the well-being and the economic security of all people should be the concern of the state. The second one is the Commonwealth Act number 178, an amendment to Rice Tenancy Act number 4045 on November 13, 1936, provided for certain controls in the landlord-tenant relationship. The third one is the National Rice and Corn Corporation, or the NARIC, on 1936. Established the price of rice and corn, thereby help the poor tenants as well as the customers. Commonwealth Act number 461 on 1937, the fourth one, specified reason for the dismissal of tenants and only with the approval of the tenancy division of the department. The fifth one is the Rural Program and Administration, created on March 2, 1939, provided the purchase and lease of haciendas and their sale and lease to the tenants. So the sixth one is the Commonwealth Act number 441, enacted on June 3, 1939, created the National Statement Administration with a capital stock of 20 million pesos.
Manuel Roxas. Manuel Roxas was a Filipino lawyer and politician who served as the 5th President of the Philippines, who served from 1946 until his death due to heart attacks in 1948. So in terms of government initiatives on agrarian reform, Republic Act number 34 was enacted to establish a 70-30 sharing arrangement between tenant and landlord. The 70% of the harvest will go to the person who shoulder the expenses for planting, harvesting, and for the work animals. President Roxas negotiated for the purchase of 8,000 hectares of lands in Batangas owned by the Ayala Zubel family. These were sold to landless farmers. However, due to lack of support facilities, these farmers were forced to resell their lands to the land-owning class. This failure gave basis to doubt the real meaning of land reform program.
So, Elpidio Quirino, 1948 to 1953, through Executive Order Number 355, the Land Settlement Development Corporation, or LASEDECO, was established to accelerate and expand the peasant resettlement program of the government. So, however, due to the limited post-war resources, the program was not successful. So, through the Executive Order Number 355, Land Settlement Development Corporation, or LASEDECO, this is the order to take over responsibilities to those people who has lands. So, for example, if the farmer has its own land, he cannot call it his own if he has no proof of evidence or papers to be given. So through this executive, it will help the farmers to show their title that they are the owner of the land. So therefore, the LASEDECO is the settlement for someone's property.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Ramon Magsaysay, with called Ramon Magsaysay Sr. On August 31, 1907, on March 17, 1953, was a Filipino statesman who served as the 7th President of the Philippines. From December 30, 1953, until his death in an aircraft disaster on March 17, 1957. An automobile mechanic by profession, Magsaysay was appointed military governor of Zambales after his outstanding served as a guerrilla leader during the Pacific War. He then served 2 terms of Libera Party congressman for Zambales at-large district before being appointed Secretary of Nationalist Defense by President Elpidio Quirino. He was elected president under the banner of the Nacionalista Party. He was the first Philippine president born in the 20th century and the first to be born after the Spanish colonial era.
So, Carlos P. Garcia. As for Carlos P. Garcia, there was no legislation passed in his terms, but he continued to implement the land reform programs of the President Ramon Magsaysay.
Diosdado Macapagal. Diosdado Macapagal was a Filipino lawyer, poet, and politician who served as 9th President of the Philippines, serving from 1961 to 1965, and the 6th Vice President, serving from 1957 to 1961. So he also was considered the father of agrarian reform. So in terms of government initiatives on agrarian reform, it was during his term that the Agricultural Land Reform Code or RA number 3844 was enacted on August 8, 1963. This was considered to be the most comprehensive piece of agrarian reform legislation ever enacted in the country that time. This act abolished share tenancy in the Philippines. It prescribed a program converting the tenant farmers to leases and eventually into owner cultivators. It aimed to free tenants from the bondage of tenancy and gave hope to poor Filipino farmers to own the land they are tilling. It emphasized owner, cultivatorship, and farmer independence, equity, productivity, improvement, and the public distribution of land. This act was piloted in the provinces of Pangasinan, Bulacan, Nueva Ecija, Pampanga, Tarlac, Occidental Mindoro, Camarines Sur, and Misamis Oriental. It also acquired a total of 18,247.06 hectares or 99.29% out of the total scope of 18,377.05 hectares. So the program benefited 7,466 farmer beneficiaries.